Hello children, today we are going to learn about fractions. So by the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand the concept of fractions, compare and order fractions, convert improper fractions and mixed fractions and vice versa, find equivalent fractions using multiplication and division of numerator and denominator, add and subtract fractions with like and unlike denominators, apply fractions in real life situations. Fractional units as a part of a whole. A fractional unit represents one or more equal parts of a whole object, shape or collection. It tells us how many equal parts the whole is divided into and how many parts are taken. Understanding the concept. When a whole object is divided into equal parts, each part is called a fractional unit of the whole. For example, if a chocolate bar is divided into two equal parts, each part is half of the whole. If a pizza is divided into 4 equal slices, each slice is 1/4 of the pizza. Representation of fractional units. Fraction is equal to part taken upon total equal parts. So, 1 out of 2 equal parts is equal to 1 upon 2, that is half. 1 out of 3 equal parts is equal to 1/3, that is 1 upon 3. And 1 out of 4 equal parts is equal to 1/4, that is 1 upon 4. Representation of fractional units. Now key points to remember is the parts must be equal to form fractions. Each fractional unit shows one part of a whole. The denominator shows the total number of equal parts and the numerator shows how many of these parts are taken. Fractional lengths on the number line. A number line is a straight line on which numbers are shown at equal distances. Fractions can also be represented on a number line to show parts between whole numbers. For example, to show half on a number line, draw a line and mark 0 and 1. Divide the distance between them into two equal parts. The first mark after 0 represents half. What are mixed fractions? A mixed fraction is also called a mixed number. A mixed fraction is made up of whole number plus proper fraction. For example, 2 1/3 means 2 wholes and 1 part out of 3 equal parts. So combination of a whole number and a proper fraction is called mixed fractions. Some more examples of mixed fractions: 1/2, 3 3/4, 5 2/5. Remember, a mixed fraction is always greater than 1. It helps to visualize real life quantities easily. For example, 2.5 hours, 1 3/4 liters, etc. Let's come to the most interesting part of fractions, that is equivalent fractions. So what are equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are different fractions that represent the same part of a whole. Even though their numerators and denominators are different, their values remains the same. So here is an example of equivalent fraction. Can you see 1/2 is equal to 2/4 is equal to 3/6 is equal to 4/8. All these fractions means 1/2 of a whole. So they are equivalent fractions. How to find equivalent fractions? You can find equivalent fractions by multiplying or dividing the numerator and denominator by the same number. For example, by multiplying 1/3, so here we have multiplied 1/3 with the same number, that is 2, in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So 1 into 2 result to 2 and 3 into 2 is 6. So the equivalent fraction of 1/3 is 2/6. Again, 1/3 is multiplied by 3 in the numerator as well as 3 in the denominator. So 1 into 3 is 3 and 3 into 3 gives 9. So the equivalent fraction of 1/3 is 3/9. Now by dividing, how will you find the equivalent fraction by dividing? So here you can see 6/9 is a fraction. What we'll do is we'll divide both these numbers 6 and 9 by the same number, that is 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. So 6 divided by 3 is 2 and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So equivalent fraction of 6 by 9 is 2 by 3. Key points to remember. Equivalent fractions have different names but same value. Multiply or divide numerator and denominator by the same number only. The simplest form of all equivalent fractions is the same. For example, all these numbers represents the same value. 2 by 6, 3 by 9, 4 by 12. When they are converted to simplest form, they equals to 1 by 3. So all these numbers, all these fractions 2 by 6, 3 by 9 and 4 by 12 are equivalent fractions. Comparing fractions. When we compare fractions, we find out which fraction is greater or smaller, or if they are equal. First case, like fractions. When the denominators are same, then how do we compare? If fractions have the same denominator, compare their numerator. The fractions with the greater numerator is greater. For example, 3 by 8 and 5 by 8. So among these two fractions, since numerator 5 is bigger than 3, therefore 5 by 8 is greater than 3 by 8. Now second case, unlike fractions. What happens when the denominators are different? First step, find the LCM of the denominators to make them same. Second, convert to like fractions. Third, compare the numerators. For example, 2 by 3 and 3 by 5. Here the denominators are different. So we'll take out the LCM of 3 and 5, that is 15. Now we'll convert them into like fractions. So 2 by 3 is converted to 10 by 15 and 3 by 5 is converted to 9 by 15. Here you can see the denominators are same now. So since the denominators are same, now we can compare their numerators. So 2 is greater than 3, that is 10 is greater than 9. Therefore 2 by 3 is greater than 3 by 5. Now comparing fractions with the same numerator. If fractions have the same numerator, the fractions with the smaller denominator is greater since parts are bigger. For example, 3 by 4 and 3 by 8. Here denominator are 4 and 8. Since 4 is smaller than 8, therefore 3 by 4 is greater than 3 by 8. Now case 4, how to compare fractions with the help of number line. Fractions further to the right on the number line are greater. For example, on the number line between 0 and 1, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4 and 1. 3 by 4 is the greatest and 1 by 4 is the smallest. Addition of fractions. Adding fractions means combining fractional parts of a whole. The method of addition depends on whether the fractions have the same denominator or different denominators. Addition of like fractions when the denominators are same. When fractions have the same denominator, add the numerator and keep the denominator as same. So here 3 by 8 plus 4 by 8 is equal to 3 plus 4 upon 8, that is 7 upon 8. Now addition of unlike fractions, that is different denominators. First step, find the LCM of the denominators. Second, convert fractions into like fractions. Third, add numerators and keep the denominator same. Fourth, simplify if needed. For example, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. Here the denominators are different. So we'll take out the LCM of 2 and 3, that is 6. Now we'll convert these 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 into like fractions. So 1 by 2 is 3 by 6 and 1 by 3 is 2 by 6. Now here the denominators are equal. When the denominators become same, now we'll add the numerators. That is 3 plus 2, 5. So the answer is 5 upon 6. Subtraction of fractions. Subtracting fractions means finding the difference between fractional parts of a whole. The method depends on whether the fractions have the same or different denominators. Subtraction of like fractions, that is same denominators. If the denominators are same, subtract the numerators and keep the denominators same. For example, 7 by 9 minus 4 by 9 is equal to 3 by 9. and again if we simplify it, the result is 1 by 3. So the difference of 7 by 9 and 4 by 9 is 1 by 3. Subtraction of fractions when the denominators are different. So the procedure is: first, find the LCM of denominators. Second, convert the fractions into like fractions. Third, subtract the numerators. Fourth, simplify if needed. For example, 3 by 4 minus 2 by 5. Since the denominators are different, so we'll take out the LCM of 4 and 5, that is 20. Now we'll convert 3 by 4 and 2 by 5 into like fractions with the help of LCM. So 3 by 4 becomes 15 by 20 and 2 by 5 becomes 8 upon 20. Now we'll subtract 15 by 20 and 8 by 20, and the result is 7 by 20. Thank you, dear students, for attending today's session on fractions. Hope you enjoyed learning.